everyone. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. In February of this year, the LA Homeless Services Authority held a count to get clarity on the evolution of homelessness in LA, and the curve appears to be flattening. Though optimistic, the numbers show there is still a lot of work to be done to make sure everyone in Los Angeles has a home.
It is my pleasure to have the opportunity to speak with you today, along with my colleague Molly Reisman, about the results of the 2022 homeless count.
If there's one thing you take away from these results, we want you to see how policy and investments matter. Homelessness in LA is a crisis decades in the making. Our collective movement is making progress every day, and we can in fact see it. So let's take a closer look.
The good news here, this count, is we finally feel like we flattened the curve. Flattening the curve is different than reducing it, and that's the next step. But to not see, when we last did this count, if we looked at the 2 years before that, a 32% increase, and now to look at least in the city of LA, about 1.5% increase. Nothing to celebrate or have a party about, but to have that curve flattened, and even the beginning, and this is, remember, from February.
So I think the numbers are showing us that when we collectively invest in resources and help get people into housing, then we can make a difference. By no means are the numbers something to be celebrated. We realize there's more work to be done, but what we want the public to understand is that this is a complex issue. Behind every number is a person, and what we want to make sure of is that they have what they need to get access to the housing and then the supportive services to keep them there.
I'm still both outraged and optimistic, which is a tough thing, I think, for people sometimes to hear. I'm as outraged as everybody on the street that the conditions still for too many people are so horrible. But I'm optimistic because for the first time, we didn't see a dramatic increase. We flattened the curve, and this is even before we see in the second half of this year over 1,900 new housing units open up thanks to HHH, and more than 2,000 more next year. Those things will make tangible material differences, and not just people take people off the street for a day or two or a week or two, but for good.
To see the Dodger Stadium example and recognize how many people we have housed should not be lost on all of us. I'm not resting on those laurels, but it should not be lost on all of us, the number of people so far that we've been able to house.
Housing ends homelessness. We've got to get more people connected to the resources that they need. We need more landlords online willing to take the vouchers and support individuals who are on that path to housing.
You know, I was a homeless youth. I was emancipated, and I experienced homelessness for about 1.5 years. That experience really helped me to connect with my clients because, until I was able to have a safe place and have a home, I couldn't move forward with any of my goals. So the relationship with our property managers is so important, so that we can all kind of work together to make Los Angeles a place where everyone has a home.
I feel good about momentum that we have, and I'm confident the next 2 years we'll see not only the flattening of this curve, but the bending down. The question now is how much and how fast.
If you want to learn more about what the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority is doing and how to get involved, visit lasa.org. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg announced that the Port of LA will receive a $20 million grant to help cargo move through the port quicker. Mayor Garcetti was also on hand to share some of the benefits of this grant, like less traffic and pollution, quicker throughput, and more jobs. Let's take a look.
Today, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg announced a $20 million grant for one of our projects here at the Port of Los Angeles. It's called a grade separation, an overpass to allow trucks to go past regular vehicular and pedestrian traffic. This will allow the Port of Los Angeles to accelerate a project that's already been on the plans and get cargo moving quicker and safer than ever before.
My word of the day is centroid. That's what they call this peculiar shape you see on that board. Effectively a railroad loop surrounding as many containers as you can imagine. The problem is there's only one way in and there's only one way out, and it's not efficient. That's impeding the movement of hundreds of thousands of cargo containers, creating delays that ripple as far as the American Midwest, the East Coast, and everywhere in between. And that's going to change. I am delighted to be here to formally celebrate the award of $20 million to the Port of Los Angeles to build a new 4-lane roadway and bridge over that railroad.
This grant will mean less traffic and less pollution. It will mean more jobs. It will mean quicker throughput and fewer accidents. Who could be against that?
The second piece of this is also going to be more money for the port in the new bill that just passed, the Inflation Reduction Act, where we are seeing investments there. $3 billion alone is being allocated for ports across the country to go zero emissions.
Having cargo move through the port quicker means ships won't be backed up at anchor, polluting our neighborhoods. Getting truck drivers more turns so they can earn a better living, and getting products to our store shelves so the American consumer to buy on time.
Councilmember Joe Buscaino addressed his constituents in CD15 on Betty Hawkins Day to present the square that is dedicated to her name. People gathered to celebrate a well-deserved tribute to this remarkable woman's commitment to ensuring everyone's safety in her beloved community.
It's Betty Hawkins Day here in the city of Los Angeles, and I know that she is shining down upon us with this great smile, but saying to us, you don't have to do this.
We're celebrating my mother, Betty Hawkins, who loved her community. She's lived here for over 50 years, and everything about it she was so proud of. The safety of our children, the safety of her neighbors. The community was her family, and she made it her life's project to make sure the people here were safe. Her biggest passion project was the safety of the children at 135th Street School, having a crossing guard, having a valet. She herself stood outside in the morning and helped the kids get in and make sure they crossed safely.
Hopefully this memorial helps people in the community get involved and actually advocate for traffic calming measures around this area, and just to help out and be active participants in the community.
What a great person. I miss her. She was a good friend. She deserved this square being named after her.
She's just greatly missed, and just what a great tribute to her, and well-deserving. That's all I can say. Great family. You see the turnout, great neighborhood. So yes, I hope the Betty Hawkins memory and what she has done will continue.
We want to thank you for the love and support. Thank you for honoring our mother today, and we love you.
A new mural was unveiled to pay homage to the transgender members who've made great contributions to the LGBTQ+ community locally and nationwide. Channel 35 was there to capture people's gratitude for recognizing these trailblazers who have brought visibility and respectability to the trans community. Check it out.
Today we're at an event where we'll be unveiling a mural that was painted to pay homage with some of the most recent trans members that have done really such amazing work in the community.
What this mural has done is it recognizes so many of the city of Los Angeles trailblazers who have really set the path for the LGBTQ community over the last 50 years. So we have people representing all walks of life that have both had influence here in Los Angeles as well as nationwide.
And we also want to look forward to the future and all of the trailblazers and history makers that are yet to come. Because for the LGBTQ+ community, so much progress has been made, but there's a lot more work left to do.
Who you are is okay, and you don't have to go through this on your own.
We're here today to sing and to celebrate and use our voices to uplift the trans community with respect to this mural that recognizes so many of the icons of the trans community. These people have been doing hard work to bring visibility and respectability to the trans community for years and years, and they have done so much to make us part of the community of Los Angeles, and we're so proud to be here to sing and celebrate their joy and all of the work that they've done.
I've been working with this community for over 30 years now, and the community calls me Mother Karina. This is my family. I don't have any children, so I encourage them to be with their own chosen families.
Really important that we acknowledge the pioneers, I guess you'd call them, the people that started jumping up and coming out, speaking out, seeking justice, equality, all those things that have to do with the bigger movement that we're a part of. So, yeah, being up there, I feel like I represent a whole lot of people. I represent a whole lot of elements that the larger struggle has incorporated and included to the point where we are today. But I'm just a spokesperson for a certain segment for the LGBT community, just one element of it, and it was an honor.
The city observes September as National Disaster Preparedness Month. Council District 10 appoints a new temporary representative, and the Frogtown Art Walk is back in person. These stories up next on City Beats.
The City of LA's Emergency Management Department wants Angelenos to make a plan for the unexpected during National Preparedness Month. Observed in September, it has appeared to bring awareness to the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies. This year's theme focuses on making a disaster preparedness plan in order to create a lasting legacy for you and your family. Steps for preparedness include creating an emergency kit, making a plan, and knowing the hazards that you might encounter. To learn more about resources, tools, and tips on how to be prepared, visit emergency.lacity.org. On September 2nd, LA City Council confirmed Heather Hutt to represent Council District 10. Hutt fills the vacant seat left by Mark Ridley Thomas last October when he was suspended due to indictment charges. The appointment will last for as long as the temporary vacancy exists, unless Ridley Thomas is acquitted or his charges are dismissed. Hutt previously served as the state director for then Senator Kamala Harris and as district director for former state senator Isidore Hall. A Baldwin Vista resident with a long family history in the area, Heather Hutt is the first woman to represent the 10th Council District. The Frogtown Art Walk will be happening in person again on September 24th by the LA River in Elysian Valley. Sponsored by the city's 13th District and Department of Cultural Affairs, the biennial event features art, performances, and workshops by local artists. The Art Walk will kick off festivities at the newly opened Taylor Yard Bridge and have activities for the whole family. Attendees will have the opportunity to listen to Tongva storytelling, make seed bombs, and watch local films amongst other art activities. To find a detailed list of events and participants, visit evartscollective.com.
A live musical performance took place outside the legendary Madrid Theater to announce that alongside its neighbor, the Taxco Theater, it is closing for renovation. From its auditorium seats, council member Bob Blumenfield revealed that in 18 months, the curtain will rise to reveal a state-of-the-art facility. Check it out.
We're closed for renovation, we're scooping up and proving, since COVID's now declining, performance now resuming.
And I am pleased to welcome you to our closing.
So we're closed for renovation today. We're closed for decoration, cause fortune has been smiling, so now we're due for painting, new plumbing and retiling.
Under normal circumstances, we wouldn't be here to celebrate a closing. But we are actually closing the Madrid Theater and the Taxco Theater in preparation for renovation that has been in preparation for many, many years. So we're getting ready to turn the Madrid Theater into a state-of-the-art performance space for the Canoga Park community, the city of Los Angeles, and possibly even larger. And we're also celebrating the renovation of the Taxco Theater, which is just right around the corner, that will turn into a state-of-the-art rehearsal and innovative design space for theater and performance.
Well, this is the official closing of the Madrid Theater. So take a look behind me. See this wonderful theater with all this rich history? This is the before shot. Soon, 18 months, you'll have the after shot when this theater is transformed into an incredible gem for the entire city of Los Angeles.
There'll be new seats. We'll be expanding the lobby upstairs, which is currently just a balcony that's kind of unusable. So we'll actually be pushing that out and encasing it with a storefront So there's actually a usable space. I think it's more than 250 square feet that'll add to that. And they're reorganizing the lobby, so it's actually more of an actual usable lobby. There'll be a bar and a restroom up there.
Because when you invest in the arts, it's economic development.
Really, really excited. So to have something here on this side, again, just makes us feel like we're seen by the city.
It's a very joyous occasion. We're really excited to be able to do this, to really to renovate the theaters into spaces that this community is truly deserving of. I just want to encourage folks to come visit us on our website at culturela.org to learn about opportunities at our art centers, our theaters, our other theaters throughout the city, and our grants programming. So I invite you all to join us at one of our many offerings here at the Department of Cultural Affairs.
Thank you all for coming out to this.
Stick around to hear about other renovation projects that the city is undertaking at a historic landmark. Red light, green light. I'm not talking about traffic lights, but about one of the hit shows of the year, Squid Game. The city of LA has officially named September 17th as Squid Game Day. Councilmember John Lee and Mayor Garcetti both highlighted the impact and importance of the social commentary of this global phenomenon. Check it out.
Nearly a year ago, audiences worldwide, including my family, were captivated by something that was so unique, somewhat gruesome, and extremely entertaining, and with just the right amount of social commentary. Squid Game has become so globally known that you'll be hard-pressed to find someone that hasn't, at the very least, at least heard of it.
In a time when COVID-19 pandemic was at its peak and social distancing was keeping the world apart, Squid Game was the K-drama that brought us all together, unified at the edge of our seats.
You realize that it isn't about what we see up front, but the story behind it. To me, a very important, biting commentary on our need to make sure that everybody in our culture has economic opportunity. LA belongs to everyone.
제작자의 한 사람으로서 넷플릭스를 통해서 이처럼 전 세계 많은 분들께 사랑받을 수 있는 작품을 만들고 또 이렇게 소개할 수 있다는 것이 너무 큰 영광이라고 생각합니다.
On behalf of the City Council and the Mayor, we would like to present you with this official resolution from the city proclaiming September 17th officially as Squid Game Day here in the city of Los Angeles. Happy Squid Game Day.
In the middle of a heat wave, who's up for watching a movie inside the water? Council District 14 and Rec and Parks recently hosted a refreshing movie night at Lincoln Park Pool, where attendees enjoy the film Luca with free refreshments and popcorn. Let's take a look.
Staff here. We're going to be showing the Disney movie Luca, and our office is providing free refreshments, free popcorn. We've had other events at the park, but this is the first summer event that we have at the pool.
We are showing this movie to the community to promote the swimming pool and the programs. We offer swimming lessons, teams, and to promote a lifeguard recruitment.
seems like a very good night, you know, to hang out with my kids at the local pool. Not only was it very hot, we appreciate all the goodies that you guys got for us, sunblocks, sunglasses, popcorn, and the movie night. A lot of kids around here cannot afford a pool in their local backyards, and you know, it's a great time, you know, to spend with your kids, to come out, and it's free.
I love it. I can see people older than me. I'm 62, but I see people older than me coming here.
Barbara Morrison was a jazz icon whose legend still lives on today, not just as the name of a performing arts center, but also as the name of a square. The Barbara Morrison Square is how the city of LA is showing its admiration and appreciation for an artist who will now have a permanent place in the city.
It's all right.
We're here today to honor Barbara Morrison. The corner of 43rd and Degnan will be renamed the Barbara Morrison Square.
Have a good time.
We loved her at Department of Cultural Affairs. She served not only as an artist, but as a producer, as a panelist, as an advisor.
It's all right.
And so we just love her, and we are just so happy to be able to sponsor Tim Morganfield, who is now the executive producer of the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, in this inaugural festival.
To be able to take a moment to acknowledge her and then permanently make a place in the city for her, I think is essential to recognize all of her contributions to the art form and to the city and to the community.
She brought jazz, the best of jazz, to Leimert Park. She made sure that Leimert Park was still considered the center of African American culture as it relates to the arts and music and jazz and all the things that take place here.
For her to determine that because she's an icon and a global star, that she wants to be in Leimert Park was really important to this community. So the least we could do is honor her.
Honoring her here on this festival and having these great artists here performing, it's going to be a wonderful day. I wish more people could come down, and next year, I'm going to say this for next year, it will be the Barbara Morrison Jazz and Blues Festival every year from now out.
In this week's feature story, our own Maria Hallround sits down with Abby Chamberlain-Brock, curator of the Hollyhock House, and Daniel Tarica, interim general manager of the Department of Cultural Affairs. They discuss some of the projects they are undertaking at this historic LA landmark. Let's hear the story.
I'm delighted today to be joined by Daniel Tarica, the interim general manager of the Department of Cultural Affairs here in Los Angeles, and Abby Chamberlain-Brock, the curator of the Hollyhock House. You've got the best job in the city, I think.
It is a joy to care for this house. When Aline Barnstall met Frank Lloyd Wright in 1915, it wasn't a house that she was asking him to build, it was a theater. She purchased this property 4 years later, and the scope of that commission grew immensely. The theater, director's house, studio, artist spaces, as well as a house for Barnstall, 2 guest houses, a cinema for movies. It was a really ambitious plan that ended up only being partially realized with the main house and 2 guest houses.
There has been a lot done to make sure that this beautiful space stays and is realized the way it should be. So what were you able to do during this downtime to sort of make sure that we can enjoy it for a long, long, long time?
The closure gave us that opportunity to focus on some of the restoration projects that we had long hoped to do. Basic things like varnishing the floors. We have a lot of visitors and foot traffic, so those kind of projects. But then also really dramatic ones like restoring the art glass doors in the owner's room.
We have great support from the mayor and the city council on being able to do this and to really bring in the funds and resources to be able to maintain the beauty and the elegance of the site.
We're thrilled to be throwing open the doors and interpreting the outdoor spaces along with the iconic interior ones. The living room, the dining room, which are spaces that Wright designed original furnishings for, the patio, the south terrace, they're really exciting ways to look back on the house and understand how Wright incorporated the outdoor spaces as much as the indoor ones as living rooms.
I highly encourage folks to come visit. Go to our website at culturela.org, and there you will find information on Barnsdall Park and our many other historic sites, theaters, and art centers throughout the city.
Share your love of books at the Los Angeles Libros Festival. Dance at the Watts Jazz Festival and Day of the Drum, or attend the anniversary celebration LA for All Day. All this up next on Things to Do.
If you want to share your love of books and stories with your children, you may be interested in attending the 2-day Los Angeles Libros Festival. It's a bilingual book festival for the whole family that will take place online and in person, providing entertainment for all ages. There will be Spanish and bilingual storytelling, performances, workshops, encounters with award-winning authors, and even an interactive bilingual concert for the whole family. Families are welcome to attend this free 2-day bilingual book festival, which will take place online on Friday, September 23rd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and in person at the Central Library on Saturday, September 24th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/Libros-Fest. Attention music lovers, jazz enthusiasts, and drum aficionados. The Watts Towers are celebrating their 40th annual Day of the Drum Festival and their 45th annual Simon Rodia Jazz Festival. At the Drum Festival, attendees can expect Aztec traditional dancing, taiko, West African and Puerto Rican drums. For the Jazz Festival, Wendy Barnes and the Influentials, the Pan-African People's Orchestra, and an all-stars performance will delight jazz lovers. There will also be a food court, children's games, and other fun activities. This 2-day celebration is free, open to everyone, and will take place at the Watts Towers Arts Center campus on Saturday, September 24th and Sunday, September 25th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, visit wattstowers.org. LA for All is a campaign that was launched by LA Civil Rights a year ago to stand against hate and encourage citizens to stand up for a more inclusive Los Angeles. To celebrate its anniversary, the city is holding an LA for All Day as a culmination of its LA for All Week. This event, highlighting diversity, will be a chance for neighbors to come together and enjoy food, music, and performances by different cultural groups. LA for All Day is a free event where everyone is welcome and will take place at the Wall Las Memorias Monument in Lincoln Park on Thursday, September 22nd from 5 to 9 p.m. For more details and to register, visit bit.ly/LA for All Day. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.